Hello! Today I'll tell you how I put together my look inspired on Youngjae and how to make this tie. So I have the habit of creating a look based on my bias. And for Youngjae, I saw him wearing something like this last year. And the moment I saw it, I just immediately fell in love and knew I had to create a look on it someday. So this is how it turned out. I ordered a beret to style. I'll leave a link in the description on where to get it. As for a blouse, I took one I already had lying around and dyed it with dyed-on. I used powder pink. According to the description, if you need like this shade of pink, you have to use a full package of 1.2 kilograms. So for one blouse, according to my calculations, I needed like 26.66 grams of this and 66.6 grams of salt. However, after dyeing it, I found it way too light, so I dyed it again and again and again, and then ended up having to do it like 4 or 5 times. So that's something you might want to keep in mind if you want to dye it this way. As for the skirt, I used one I already had lying around since I thought it suited the style. And then instead of a normal tie, I made this one. And it's actually really easy to make, so I'll show you in a step-by-step instruction. I just finished cutting out all the materials I need. I used 1 centimeter of seam allowance. For the main body you need a trapezoid part, which means that this side has to be shorter than this side. It's 26 centimeters by 15 by 31. Then for the middle part I used 6 by 10 centimeters. And then for the longest part, it needs to be long enough to go around your neck with an overlay. Originally I made one 50 by 6 centimeters. And since this is just an example, I used some scrap material, so this isn't long enough. It needs to be long enough to go around your neck with an overlay. Now what you need to do is apply interface to this, and also apply some interfacing to the small middle part. Make sure your iron is heated on the highest stand, and that you apply the sticky side of the interfacing to the wrong side of the fabric. Cover it up with a wet cloth or kitchen towel. Press your iron on top of it and hold it in place for 20 to 30 seconds. Make sure you cover it all sides. I always remove the towel and directly iron over it afterwards to make sure the interfacing sticks. Fold the long and the short piece over by the middle, right sides together, and pin it in place. Pin the bigger pieces right side together as well. Make sure to mark the middle and leave a little gap at the bottom. You're going to sew around it, leaving that part open. Sew all 3 pieces with 1 centimeter of seam allowance, making sure to do a back stitch at the beginning and the end. Trim the edges for the 2 thin pieces. Cut the corners of the bigger piece and trim the edges as well. You should leave the part of the opening long, however. Turn the fabric inside out, paying extra attention to the corners. Trim off extra excess if needed. For the big piece, slightly roll the fabric between your fingers, so the seam is only visible at one side, and pin it down. Do this all around the edges. Next, you're going to take the pieces to the ironing board and press them. For the thin pieces, place the seam in the middle before pressing them. Place the thick long neck piece on top of the ribbon part and mark the middle. Take a needle and some thread and do some simple basting stitches from top to bottom. This doesn't have to be neat, as it won't show later on. After reaching the end, pull the fabric down and wrap the thread tightly around the middle a couple of times. Secure it with a couple of stitches. Take the short piece and wrap it around the middle of the ribbon. On the back side, fold the end one time over to cover up the edges. Pin it in place. Secure it with a couple of hand stitches. Again, it doesn't have to be overly neat, since it's at the back, so you won't be able to see it. Next, we're going to apply the fasteners. You can also use Velcro if that's what you prefer. Fold the edges of the end in and sew it closed by a couple of hand stitches. Mark down where you want your fasteners to go. Sew them on with a couple of hand stitches as well. With that, your necktie is all finished. If you want to accomplish this effect, then all you have to do is make a second piece that is slightly bigger. So that's how you can fairly easily make a tie like this. If you ever go to concerts, then what kind of look do you usually go for? Keep watching if you want to find out what's coming up soon. Also, don't forget to follow my channel and push the notification bell if you want to be kept up to date. As always, thank you so much for watching and I hope to see you again next time. Bye for now!